This brick is like a heavy emotion. Most of us know when we feel bad, but here's the problem. Instead of feeling our feelings, we start thinking about it in our heads. We think, what is this feeling doing here? Will it ever go away? Is there something wrong with me? Why am I like this? That's like picking up the brick, and instead of just experiencing it, we start thinking about it excessively in our heads. Or, like most people, wanting to get rid of it as soon as possible, or pretending like it's not even there, or hiding it somewhere no one can see. But what if the real skill was learning how to hold the feeling? When you stop spiraling in your thoughts and turn your focus to your body, that's when you start to correctly identify and feel your feelings. Hi, I'm glad that you're here with me. I'm George Felix, a clinical psychologist and a practicing therapist. And in this video, I'm going to guide you on how to correctly feel your feelings. Is there an incorrect way to feel? The short answer is yes. And all that we did with the brick were incorrect ways. My understanding as a psychologist is that most of our emotional suffering is due to this confusion. We confuse our thoughts about our feelings with actually feeling our feelings. You may say, I feel like that person doesn't like me, or there is something wrong with me. But those are thoughts, they are not feelings. The problem is that we make a lot of space for our thoughts, but not enough space in our bodies to feel our emotions. This is the main reason why we're emotionally dysregulated. And my emotion dysregulation is not just a me problem. It is not just bad for me. It is bad for my relationships, my work, my community, even my country. Learning emotion regulation skills is an adult responsibility, and it is so important. A common misunderstanding about emotions is that they are in your head. That's actually half the story. Your emotions are physical or bodily reactions to triggers. They're full body experiences. Like I've said in my previous videos, knowing how to identify your feelings makes you aware of what you need in the moment. Once you are aware of what you need, you are more in control of deciding whether the need is appropriate or inappropriate. And if it is appropriate, how to get your needs met. And if it's inappropriate, how to change your emotion or your feelings about it. That automatically gives you better control to handle day to day situations. Feeling correctly is different from just thinking, it's about noticing the weight, the pressure, and the sensations of that emotion in your body. Just like this brick, I can notice that it's heavy, it's solid, and it is rough. But you may think, why bother with the body? I already know that I'm feeling bad because my thoughts tell me the reason for feeling so and so. And I agree. But we have to also regulate those feelings. And it's the sensations that show up first. Then your brain thinks about those sensations and then converts them into overthinking. If you ignore your sensations in the body, you are only going to superficially work with your thoughts. People usually fall into two groups when it comes to emotions. If you're in the first group, then when an emotion comes to you, you find it relatively easy to notice the sensations in your body. It can be a tight chest, or a lump in your throat, or a knot in your stomach. If you're in group two, then when an emotion comes to you, you have a broad sense of feeling bad or uncomfortable. But when you check your body, you feel numb or cut off, or you're aware of your thoughts, but you are having difficulty in locating the sensations in your body. Let me show you what feeling correctly looks like in both the groups. If you're in group one, then regulating your emotions is much easier for you. Your skill is to learn to hold the emotion without collapsing. At times, I can understand it may feel like you're Cersei from Game of Thrones, upon whom hundreds and thousands of bricks are going to fall. But even though it may seem like 100, it is just one. I understand it is rough, unpleasant, and heavy, but it's not unbearable. Okay, here's how you do it. Step one, say out loud, stop, and pause with whatever that you're doing, whether it is scrolling reels, or binge watching something or any other activity. Step 2, scan. Where am I feeling this in my body? Can I locate all the points in my body where I'm feeling some sensation? For most people, it helps to scan from head to toe very, very slowly. And remember, it's okay if you're not able to perfectly find out every sensation. Step 3, describe what you notice. I notice my chest feeling heavy. I notice my breathing, which is shallow. I notice that there's a knot in my stomach. I notice that my hands are feeling cold. And the last step is step 4, make space. You can do this in multiple ways. One way to do this is to imagine your body like a container, and all the different sensations are contained in your body. Your body is a bigger thing than your individual sensations. And while the emotion and the sensation feels uncomfortable, there is hope that your body will be able to contain them, even though you may not want to believe it or it may seem hopeless. Another way of making space is just to pause and let everything be: the discomfort, the sensations, the thoughts, kind of like you just letting the brick be there in your lap. Now, one of the major reasons why people avoid doing this kind of an activity is because they're afraid that if they look at their uncomfortable feelings, the feelings will increase. And they're not wrong. In fact, it's normal for there to be a spike in the intensity of the emotion. The very basic function of emotions is to move energy in your body. That's where the word emotion or movement comes from. But I invite you to let it be. As you practice, you will be, or your body will rather be ready to regulate the intensity of those spikes and the distress over time. In your first few trials, is going to be very hard to do this. It's like when you first start lifting a 5 kg dumbbell, it is very heavy, but as you start working out and practicing, it becomes very light and tolerable. Maybe you're in the second group, you have a broad understanding of what you're feeling. I feel good or I feel bad. But when you have to associate the sensations with that emotion, then you find it very difficult. Or you just feel numb. Or you're aware of the thoughts, but not the sensations. That's okay. It just means that your awareness needs training. How to do that? Step 1, start with something outside your body. I'm going to be using the brick, but you can literally pick up any object lying around you right now. Step 2, describe. Really notice the object, really see it, and it really helps if you can describe it out loud to yourself. Describe its color, the shade of the color, the way the light falls on the object and how the color changes. Lift up the object and notice or describe its weight, temperature, texture. Is it rough or smooth? Smell the object. Notice if there is any smell. If there is no smell, that is okay. Taste the object if you can, and bring the object close to your ears and shake it up and just notice it has a sound. This is your awareness practice. If you can notice the different aspects about this object outside your body, then you can also learn to notice your own body. Step 3, now shift your focus to your body. Put a hand on your chest and see if you can feel your heartbeat. Now put your hand on your stomach and gently press inwards. Do you notice the temperature, the pressure, any movement? Remember, even tiny sensations count. If this feels too difficult for you, then maybe you need movement. If you are watching this lying down, then try to change your side. And as you do so, notice the change in the pressure, the releasing of some tension in the muscles, the tightening of other muscles, the way your joints now feel, the angle of your neck, and how that feels. If you're sitting, do the same, or you could try to stand up or walk. And as you do so, try to slow down and really pay attention to how your muscles, joints, your bones, the pressure sensation in your body changes. Remember, even tiny awareness of sensations counts. And step 4, as you continue to develop this practice, you can start having bodily cue words or bodily signal words. For example, you can start by the top of your body. Right now, my forehead feels tight. So, forehead becomes a cue word. Then move down. My jaw feels tight. Jaw is a cue word here. My mouth feels normal. My breathing feels heavy. My stomach feels normal. You can have a list of all of these bodily cue words or signal words which you can use and go over to identify what you're feeling in those different body parts. You don't need to feel every sensation perfectly. Sensitivity will develop gradually. And I can also understand that at times you may feel hopeless about trying to regulate your intense, confusing, uncomfortable feelings. But just like we do not expect a newborn to start walking from day one, but we do hold some hope that with practice, the child will eventually walk. So please go easy on yourself. You don't even have to do this every day. Just practicing this once a week is enough. These steps should help if you're in group 1 or if you're in group 2. But if you are someone who has diagnosed panic attacks or a history of trauma, I would advise that you work on your emotional regulation skills with a qualified therapist. So here's the takeaway. If you already notice your sensations, practice holding them just like how you'd hold this brick. Heavy but bearable. If you feel nothing at all, or if you're not aware of your sensations, then practice using an object outside your body, like how I use this brick. Or you can use movement and then come back to your body to see if you start noticing the sensations. Either ways, the skill remains the same. You don't run from it, you don't try to push it down, you don't try to suppress or avoid it. Instead, you learn to hold it long enough for you to know you can handle it. Because once you do, you can finally put it down. Even if you continue to feel that emotion for hours, through this practice, you would have learned to train your body to tolerate more amounts of distress, and you will know you'll be able to handle it. And that is how you correctly feel your feelings. I hope this video was meaningful for you. And if you're curious to know more about the role of emotions in your mental health, do check out the other videos on my channel. And don't forget to share this video with someone close to you. Thank you. Please take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Or, like most people, I want to drop it as soon as possible.